is
Start over. Do it again.
Do it again? All right.
Yeah.
Greetings and salutations, dear friends from near and far. Welcome to November Project, the show, 7th episode. We made it.
Episode. Welcome back. It's a lot of repeat users of the product, you know?
Yeah, if you're noticing that something is missing, it's our friend Laura, but that's okay.
Yet again, she skipped class a lot. She's not here again. So,
but then again, these classes are very optional, kind of like everything in the world. So it's okay if she skips one or 7.
They're free. They're opt-in free.
Today we have actually a very special guest that will be joining us in a few minutes. But before we go down that route, BG, why don't you tell us a little bit about your succulent sweater you're wearing right now?
Yeah, well, first of all, there's like a little piece of bling. Oh, that's gone. Dude, there's a red-tailed hawk out my window flying in a snowstorm. I'm not making this up. Okay, this is a gift from my friend Ben Strauss, Malcolm Strauss, who lives everywhere in the world. He just had a baby with his wife who had the baby. And I think that he was making custom hoodies for him and his wife. And then I think he just threw like an extra one into the order. So it showed up in my house. And it reminds me of San Diego. But he's like in the art world, so like I think it's cooler. Like it looks just terrible, but I think that's that's good.
Right. The worse you think it looks, that's actually better.
You want that. It's like if you look at the art and you don't get it, that's you're fucking that up. So this is cool somewhere.
Right. So kind of like, why don't you put a little more spray paint on that shirt? That looks good.
Totally.
And if it runs, you should persuade person. See, the colors are bleeding. It looks so good. That's exactly what I was planning on doing.
You wanted
to walk up to your $200 jacket.
Totally. No, but it's good. There's a scratchy tag in it. I don't know that it's a nice product. It's just kind of a funky print. And I like it so much that I just wear it, even though it hurts my neck. So any really valuable gift in your life causes you some pain, but you just push on.
Yeah.
So thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Are things? Do you guys have heat at your house? I mean, you're kind of bundled up.
Is
that just a SoCal look, kind of like rocking your beanie in Minneapolis all year round?
Yeah, I'm sweating a lot, but I'm suffering for style.
Right.
The third day of a snow, you can't call it a storm here because you can't show weakness in Minnesota, but it's like snowing a lot in April, and like it's so fine. We're doing great. It's fine. We love it. It's great. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Did a workout this morning with John Hunter, came from New York City. I was live on Instagram. We did like a sprinting thing. It was like beautiful and 50 degrees there in Brooklyn, and it was very dark and 20 here. Did you work out this morning?
I did 7.5 miles because yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you use your
little update? My kids don't go to school anymore, so they're staying home. So that's fun. And again, I can't really talk too much shit because I know how cushy we had it up to this point. So this was just kind of like we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
So yeah, kids are at home. We're figuring it out, and it's
I'm just as a good friend of yours, I'm glad your life sucks.
And I think our guest is ready to join us.
You want to intro her? I mean, bring her in, and then you can talk about her at her.
I can talk to her at her with her.
You talk about her right to her face.
We would like to welcome Kelly Roberts to the show. Welcome.
I like that it tells you that it's being recorded.
What?
Well, you don't want any creepers to creep on you.
Hi, guys.
Greetings.
What are you? What are you? Who do you like? What do you spend?
I'm in my dungeon. This is where I spend all of my time underground.
Boy, does my internet look as bad as Kelly's? Are we equal, or is mine the worst still?
No, yours is surprisingly good today.
Don't say that. I actually just installed a brand new router. I don't know if you've ever installed a router before, but it took me an hour.
Kelly, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but it looks like you installed your own router. You're on like.
Is it really bad?
Yeah, you're on some stop and go type shit. It's pretty good.
No way. Because it's supposed to be on a cord.
Your face is made up of like no more than 4 or 5 pixels, and it's not.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, there's one for each of the eyes. You seem to no longer have a nose, but maybe
Are we even allowed to gun people down for their internet connection these days? Like, I don't think that's sensitive.
I hope not.
When you have Saturday Night Live doing like home shows, I think there are no more rules.
Yeah.
The internet connection is all I have right now.
Right. Exactly. Dial up. Doesn't matter. It's still connected to the world.
Kelly, what I thought would be cool would be if my friend Bojan gives your introduction to those who are tuning in that don't know who you are.
I think that's a great idea.
If you're just tuning in, if you press play and then decided to fast forward 10 minutes into the show, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to the Fast Forward crew. Yeah.
welcome my crew.
Right, exactly.
Should we introduce you guys?
I folded the clothes since last week, so that's nice. All right, Brian, have at it.
Kelly's an influencer. I mean, Kelly does everything online, hence the wired router to her computer that is still kind of working or attempting to work.
Router.
We met Kelly through November Project New York City, but she's been doing incredible things before and still is. So actually, Kelly, I had a question for you. Have you been paying attention to this November Project, the show? Have you seen any episodes yet?
No.
Okay, good.
Where do I find it?
It's on the internet, you know, like you have to listen to dial-up screech for a little bit and then it comes up. But yeah, this is our 7th episode, and I was hoping that you, as a successful influencer, blogger, YouTuber, Instagrammer,
hashtagger,
can kind of give us some pointers of how to make this better, because
it's bad.
By observing analytics, shit is just rolling downhill and it's going fast. I think we're about to hit a little. All right, you say something just so we. What are you doing right now?
I will say that Kelly knows her way around a smartphone. I'll tell you what. Kelly became famous in the running world for most attempts to qualify for the Boston Marathon unsuccessfully. She rallied more people with her failures than anyone on earth. running used to be about doing it, getting out there and doing out and achieving your goal. It's so old now. That's so outdated. Kelly, tell them what you're doing now.
Kelly, actually, what you did not know is this is a roast of Kelly Roberts.
Welcome.
Literally, I have not thought about my attempts to qualify for Boston like since October. Since I was like, this is it, I'm done, I quit, never again. Last night, I like woke up in the middle of the night and literally like looked up at the ceiling and went like, wait, I gave it my all so many times and still failed.
Yeah.
And will never do the thing that I spent 3 years doing. So it's very funny that you say that, BG.
But I need to circle back.
Kelly no, don't. I failed.
And Kelly speaks to runners of all levels, but especially folks that need a jump start. And
it turns out
you've done a lot of cool shit.
Failing is relatable.
Well, failing is like the new achieving because people are like, she's going for it. It's just such heartbreak. And then there you are again. I joke that Kelly runs the New York City Marathon every month. The content is.
So anyway, the show. So any pointers from all your ups and downs to.
Well, Instagram. You guys put this on Instagram TV, right?
I don't think. Yeah, we put one shorter episode.
Where does this live?
YouTube.
Oh. Okay.
You know, the up and coming website.
It's
my advice, see the same 12 people that all the podcasters talk to and talk to them.
Oh.
That seems to work.
Okay.
We're hoping to get some of your fans of failure to come over and watch our show.
No, I'm surprised that you guys aren't having a lot of people watch because normally everyone eats up what you guys do.
Kelly, the definition of a lot of people for us might be different than you.
That's true. You guys are
Kelly,
in a mere 50 something cities around the world.
Kelly, before we move on and focus on you and brag about you, you must notice that Laura's not here, and we were hoping.
Yeah, where's Laura? She's like my only one I love.
Care about.
we wanted you, and we have to give a little intro to this.
What are we? Only one woman allowed?
One in, one out. We wanted you to give Laura's 5-star review. Five. Do you have anything that you like in the Yelp world? Everything's negative and everything sucks. Is there anything that you think is worth giving 5 stars to?
TikTok. Are you guys on TikTok? Well, Brogan's on TikTok. I got BG on TikTok. TikTok is the only thing that's keeping me alive right now.
Awesome.
I got so excited. What? Did I miss it?
TikTok, BG.
The platform.
The platform where you're probably going to get all of your information stolen and sold on the dark web, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was considering it about a month ago, and I was like, "What's up with this TikTok?" That's
making a pro and con list.
Typed into Google search, and I was like, "There's a couple of things that may be a little sketchy about this." So
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, everything's up on the internet these days, so.
I don't have any money anyway, so what are they going to do?
It's true. It's true.
Kelly, you, when did you get on TikTok?
TikTok?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago?
And then you got me on 3 days ago.
Oh, it's the best. TikTok is everything.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, like, so this is like a really classic, like, you know, I'm not 50, but in these conversations, I feel 50 because it's a lot of like, so how does it work? You know, and it's like a lot of like, but you're saying the younger folks are on there. You sent me like, you're like, get on there, fucking BG, get on there. I got on, and then you sent me like 10 of your favorite fucking
TikToks. Did you not think they were funny?
I thought all of them were lame. Every single one. I was like, wow,
we literally sit in our apartment and we all lay in our beds and text each other funny TikToks, and you can just like hear the laughter in the different rooms. So it's very funny that you didn't think they were funny.
I thought
maybe you're not on the same level of like New York desperation that we are.
Well, that's a nice segue. How is it going in New York?
We don't go outside, so I don't know. Down here in the dungeon, it feels like business as usual.
You live in a garden level?
Well, I'm actually lucky. I have 2 stories, which is very rare for New York City. I like walked into this apartment and was like, we'll take it. We have a washer and a dryer, which is really rare. Whoa. I don't want to brag, but
hey, totally brag. It's too late. You're bragging.
Yeah, it's scary. New York's scary.
How often do you go outside? Once a day?
No. If it rains that's normally the days that I go outside because there's not as many people. I try to go early if I can, but like that's 1 day a week because I go to bed. I'm not sleeping very well. So everyone's always like, run early. But New York City is like a running capital. So if you go early, you're with the 1,000 other runners who run early. So you're damned if you do. So I don't know. I try not to go outside ever.
Where's your main run these days? Because if people are watching this show, which they are, and they want to get an autograph,
track me down,
yeah,
to put me out of my misery.
Where would they go? What are your run routes in New York City? I don't even know where you live.
A lot of Prospect Park. I live in Brooklyn. I'd say at the beginning of the pandemic, I was doing a full lap of Prospect Park. As the weeks went on, it went to like half a lap. And now it's like, you know, I run a mile away and I come home.
Right. You just look at a postcard of Prospect Park.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My runs are getting like, you know, it's hard to run right now. It's scary.
Yeah. Man, New York City.
Someone on Sunday, like I had my music in and I was running. So like everyone runs one way in Prospect Park. And so I've been running like, here's the runners, here's the bikers. There's like a little teeny lane right here. I've been running the opposite way over there because no one is over there. And someone was like, came out of the running lane at me, like directly diagonally at me. And I'm like looking at them like, do I know you? And then they were like, Kelly. And I didn't like realize who they were until they like passed me. So that whole time I did like, don't get near me, stranger. And then I realized I knew them. but I just kept going because.
Dude, you've been frozen this entire story, at least on my side.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're not on Zoom. That's your issue number one.
Whoa, Mr. Google is really upset with you right now.
I'm not retelling that story. You guys missed out.
No, it's all good. You don't have to retell anything. But so I have a question for you. As a multiple attempter BQ and not being able to pursue a BQ right now.
Ever again.
You don't think ever again? You don't think you?
No.
You're not going to try for it?
No.
Come on.
I'm done.
Until you have to. You have to. We need this.
Yeah, we need.
No, I'm retired.
When the day comes that you know, come on. When you do BQ, what will happen?
It's never going to happen. I honestly never want to run a marathon again. I have no desire.
With that, I can relate.
Yeah, they suck. I don't know why we tell people to run them.
I never told anybody to run a marathon.
I did, and I make money off it.
Yeah, I never told anybody. I ran first road marathon ever, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this ever again.
Yeah, they're like, this is the worst.
Yeah, but the difference with Bojan and Kelly Roberts is that Boyan's true to his word. You say that. You say, you went back and did a bunch of them.
Yeah, I did. I was not true to my word. I was true to my word for 10 years, and then I went and I did a trail marathon.
Right.
Which I have to say, it was physically easier.
Yeah.
Than a road marathon. I don't know. I talk a lot about rowing and kind of like sitting on the erg and staring at that screen. I feel like running with the Garmin GPS, whatever. I feel it the same way, and consistently trying to hit the pace or the splits or whatever. I find that to be just very mundane and just not inspiring. So I would rather go out on the trails and feel like I'm suffering, feel like I'm, climbing Mount Everest, and then I'll look at my watch and it's like 15-minute miles. I'm like, okay, that's how I feel right now. But then you get out on the road and you feel like you're cruising, and then you look and it's like 8:30, and I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like you can kind of get in touch with your suffering on a better level when you're on the trail than the road. But that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sell it, Boyan. Sell it.
Selling it. So that's the secret of success. You just believe in yourself and sell it really hard.
Oh, Kelly, cool. I think, and I'm trying to interpret what he's saying. I think he works on like the parks and tourism board for Vermont Trail System, like hunting game or something. Kelly, this is going to seem like I'm trying to get back on track, which I never do. I haven't heard from you in a long time about how Badass Lady Gang is going. What it is.
It's going good.
But it's fucking 2020. I feel like the very first conversations we had about this were like a million years ago. And now I feel like everywhere I travel, there's someone that's popping up wearing your fucking buff, talking about being badass and what it was. So from start to today, can you give us like 1 minute what the fuck that is? What? Go.
Yeah. I mean, you are really the reason that it finally happened. Okay, that's
all. Anyway, let's move on. So, other stuff. Thanks for being on the show. No, seriously. So there I was. What was I doing? I was helping.
Yeah, for a long time you were telling me to do it, and I was like, no, I see what you and Boyan do, and I want no part of that. You guys work way too hard. It seemed like a lot of work, and it is. I don't think a lot of people understand how much work, like the November Project leaders or you guys, like how much work goes into a grassroots like movement. The reason what you guys have is so special is because of the like absolute passion that those volunteers bring to everything that they do. So I saw that and I was like, there's no way like that could happen again. But the Badass Lady Gang really started because I really was looking for something that was like running specific. Something specifically for running, because so many women like literally have nothing. They go to running groups that say they're all athletic levels and they immediately get dropped, or people are
Right.
clicky, or everyone's training for a marathon, which is great. Like I shit on the marathon. I do love the marathon. But like at the end of the day, like that's not everything. You should be able to go for a 20 to 30-minute run. Not every run should be a 10-mile fun run. Like that right there is so fucking wild that people are like, I remember one of the first Badass Lady Gang meetups we had in Brooklyn. We were with another track club and they were like, to their big giant 150 people group, they were like, we're just running 10 miles today, guys. Like nothing crazy. And like the look on the girls of like our girls' face of was like sheer terror. And I'm like, no, we're just running 30 minutes. Like everybody
Right.
sit down. Also, like, come on, seriously? But like that's the reality. People are like, we're running 8 miles, we're running 10 miles. And I'm like, let's talk for 20 minutes, run for 20 minutes, and talk for 20 minutes.
So based on that explanation, it's badass.
So how do people join? How do people learn about locations, get together? Obviously, right now, no one is allowed to do it.
Yeah, this is such a bummer. Like I will say, like some of the only times I really get to hang out with anyone outside of my apartment is like Badass Lady Gang runs, like Monday and Saturdays when I see people. So this is such a bummer for me to not be able to like see people. So you can go to badassladygang.com. We're in a bunch of cities, all volunteer led, just like you guys. Some are small and mighty and some are a little bit bigger, but you know, like they're really forging connections with people who were really lonely, and people are finding incredible friendships, which is so much fun to see.
Yeah.
And we have so many people who were like getting ready to run their first half or full marathon this year. So that's really upsetting that that's not going to happen. So we're getting creative.
Where are some of your original cities for Badass Lady Gang? Or, and again, not that the larger groups are doing things better, but they're easier to spot when you're parking your car for the workout. Where are the biggest gatherings for Badass Lady Gang?
San Diego is one of the, like, I think has a really, really like special community. A lot of those girls come over from Mexico for their Saturday runs, which is so rad. I think like half the community comes over from Ensenada and Tijuana. Orlando's a really rad chapter that like they've just created this really, really tight knit group of people. Portland's really fun. We have an Indianapolis chapter that is just like thriving, and they're one of our strongest tight knit people who like just started running. I love them because everyone really is like almost like a brand new runner, and they're all like picking it up together. So like everyone's very, very different. What you're going to see in New York is very different than what you're going to see in Indy, which is very different than what you'll see in like Ottawa.
Yeah. What if someone's listening to this? Because there's lots of people listening, and they are in a far off place that has the internet, and they want. And
This for the router set up by me.
Your homemade like hand churned internet router is going off right now. Yeah. You're pedaling to keep it going.
I'm gonna look at what my internet speed is so I can say fuck you.
I'm sure there's instructions on the website. How does someone start a group if there isn't one in their city?
There is. You do have to like prove that you can grow a community. I think that's the biggest thing. Is it doesn't matter how many times we tell someone how much work this is, that it is an unpaid part-time job and a complete and total labor of love. Like without fail, someone will get started and be like, "Oh, I didn't realize how hard it is."
Right.
You mean I don't just post on Instagram and people show up?
Right.
You know, but
right.
I mean,
yeah. I have one last. By the way, yeah, let's keep moving. I have one last Badass Lady Gang question. As this idea is yours and started around you and people that follow you, or as you moved forward, kind of came into your world, like, are there cities, and you don't have to name them, of course, but like, are there groups that are like kind of doing something that you wouldn't have really loved or made your call, but you just kind of have to let it ride? Or is everyone pretty much just kind of following the beat of your drum? How does that go?
They're all completely different. I am so hands off. Like, and I kind of tell them all that up front. Like, I'm as involved or not involved as you want, which I like because, I mean, I wouldn't want someone babysitting me. I'd want it to be my thing. But Yeah, no, for the most part, I think everyone's kind of crushing it. Like what you're going to do at Tampa, like they're a lot more like we're going for a 5K today, and that's going to be very different than what you're going to see somewhere else where they're focusing more on like 1 minute intervals, like run walk intervals. But I don't think there's anyone that I'm like, get out, you cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Just give it some time. We'll get there.
My internet speed is so fast. You guys can just go F yourselves.
No,
This is what you just did there with your 12 pixels has been my favorite part of this whole. With your 12 pixels, you donated 4 to show us a blur router. You showed the pedal.
It says it right here. Your internet speeds are extremely fast.
Extremely fast.
Kelly, can you see us?
Yes.
Yeah.
In your cactus shirt.
Maybe Boyan
At least Boyan is repping the brand.
Represent.
I think Boyan is he does stuff right. I think it'd be fun just to support your router speed if Boyan and I just took 5-minute breaks to not blink, just like you're doing over there in Frozenville.
It's on brand for my router to be slow, okay?
Okay, so what's next, Kelly? What are you excited about? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? Say something positive.
I have a question for you. So obviously, no one is running. No one is racing either.
Yeah.
Are we going to be racing by the end of this year? What do you think?
No.
No, at all.
No. Mm-mm. I think everything's canceled.
Till the end of the year.
Yeah. I this honestly, like yesterday was the first day that I thought about it, and I was like, oh my God. Okay, what do we do? Someone asked me if they thought the New York City marathon was going to be canceled, and then ironically, my cousin like had just sent me an article, and I was like, oh yeah, nothing's happening. Everything's canceled. Of course, everything's canceled. I'm putting on my thinking cap, and I've got a couple ideas of what I think we can do, because I mean racing is everything. That's the best part, is like getting together at all those things. And especially now that I have retired, like I don't have to run anymore. I just get to go cheer. So like, what the hell?
Yeah, you went out on top, Kelly. You went out on top. It's not a lot of people know when to call it. But you just right up.
You know, the Kelly Roberts way is try your best and know when to quit.
Yeah. No, you quit. You definitely quit. I think you'll have there's a guy that Boyan and I were really big fans of when we were kids in Chicago named Michael Jordan. And he a lot of people I'm sure do this with you all the time because you have a lot of qualities. He
Can't wait to see where this is going.
Me too.
I'm holding on.
He won 3 championships with his Chicago Bulls and retired, and the world was devastated. But he came back. He came back from retirement. He wore number 45 instead of number 23.
Didn't he play baseball?
Yeah.
So if you want to get into baseball, that's kind of like your thing.
I saw Space Jam.
Okay, so you know the guy. So you know Jordan.
Not a documentary, Space Jam.
Okay, so then they all put their hands on the ball and they stole the skills from the NBA. Okay. Anyway, the moral of the story is you might just need to rebrand. You know, Jordan came back as 45. Maybe your goal isn't to BQ, it's to go like sub 3. Maybe you're not trying to go fast enough. I don't know. That's up to you. But I believe in the comeback. I think maybe you're just teasing your audience. Maybe you just want us to want more, which we do. And then when you drop it and say, hey, New York 2021, and people go fucking nuts, right?
Or start doing something completely wild, like start, I don't know, competing in triathlons or
No, I do want to do an Ironman. That's next. Not a full one, the 70.3.
Yeah. And so you take a couple of years off in between, rebrand, try a different sport, show that you can do it.
I'm gonna do golf. Golf, you get to like sit in a fucking cart and like drink. That sounds a lot more fun.
People
if
just
Trump
love
can do it,
food.
anyone can do it.
You could just you could get a job at Edible Arrangements and just be putting strawberries on spears and arranging them, and people would be fucking your content would be fucking sick. And I would be into that. What's another one? You could do you get into bluegrass music. What do you like? Y'all No, there's
Start playing banjo.
Yeah, why not?
What's a sport? Fuck, what would you be really great at?
I'm a really bad athlete. That's what I've discovered.
Yeah.
Can you ice skate?
No.
Okay.
And I hate being cold.
Cycling?
I'm afraid of getting hit by a car.
Okay. Great. I feel like we've covered everything.
We know I'm a good surfer.
Dude, I have to tell that story. So I'm always very careful with Kelly because when I talk shit openly to you, it comes with like a sidecar of love. And if you don't know our friendship, it seems like I'm actually talking shit. So a couple times I've said things on social and your followers come through like ready to fuck me up.
Yeah, they send you snakes.
So they send me fucked up shit. Anyway, back on track. So Kelly is from Encinitas or something. You're from Southern California or something?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And your parents still live there. And so when I was in San Diego, living with Goldie and Lumi, you and I would see each other 2 or 3 times a year because you would be back to visit your family. So even though NP, New York City, with Paul and John and that era, and all these fucking marathons, we really became friends in San Diego, right? And one time we had some friends in town, Laura Green, Connor Green, and I said, we're going surfing in the morning. Do you want to join us? And you said, yeah. And I go, do you surf? And you're like, yeah. And you said, I'm really good. And you were really serious. And I was like, shit, I've been surfing a couple of years. I've never heard anyone say that. So like, what is that? And just to kind of fast track the story, Kelly's really bad, like really bad. You didn't catch a single wave. You just like,
yes, I did. I caught, oh no, I didn't. That was another time.
No.
I didn't even go for one.
You collected all the seaweed on your board and then just socialized. And like, you barely got into the land. You were one of those people that might live in the water. Anyway, so when you come back from retirement, don't make it a shot at the pro surfing tour because that ain't gonna happen. I think our roast is complete. Boj, do we have anything else? Do we have like any parting gifts? Can we give her some Brooks shoes?
No, I'm gonna look up some router installations to make sure that
we could do a crowd ride.
People can actually see you.
We'll do a GoFundMe for her.
You guys are wrong.
Kelly, we do this thing with some of our guests where we just get rid of you because Bojan has his finger on the eject button.
What do you do after this?
We put it up.
I'll drink some water.
Don't even look, like we don't go back to look at it to see if there are any edits necessary. We just kind of like save the file and just push it up there.
It just goes right out.
Yeah,
I can't wait for you to see.
Maybe we should look at it once or twice. I have a parting question for you, Kelly Roberts. Things are gloom. Things are kind of depressive. Things are just not looking good. You said that we may not be racing this year. What's something that you look forward to?
I really think I am going to say something probably not what most people share. I kind of think running needed this. I think people need to get creative. And I mean, this is something we've been talking about forever, but like people spend so much money to go and run like a half marathon. I don't think that's what's running up is really about. And I think this is going to force people to get really creative about the goals that they do and how they connect with people. And I do think that's going to be very good for running. I mean, and also like we're going to run into the biggest running boom I think that's ever happened because of this, because people start running when their lives fall apart. It's just what happens. So that's really exciting. The amount of new people that are going to find the sport and take on a marathon or a half marathon next year. Or one of our new creative challenges that are coming.
I love it.
So I think that's exciting.
I concur.
Kelly, thank you for being on our show. You are one of our top 7 favorite guests, and we just love what you're not doing these days.
We should just rip off the November project.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Rebrand.
We'll send you some stencils. Nice work.
No, I won't go that far. I won't take the spray paint on the shirts. I'll make them buy them.
Yeah. Her positivity award is a kayak handle. It's not a rowing handle. It's a kayak handle.
No, it's a crown.
Got it. You got it.
We did definitely rip off that though.
Cool. That's cool. Thanks,
guys.
Kelly, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Get rid of her.
This is the end.